we go again.
He's Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's good, bro?
Man, I am trying to get back into the swing of things after being out for a few days though, man, or at least away from home anyway, though, man. It's been straight though.
Yeah. Same. I literally got in yesterday, so I understand.
Yeah. Now I went out to VA for a few days, man. My brother Ken was having a real dope music festival. This was one of the first times that he or not one of the first times. This is the first time that he put together his own event. It was a free event open to the public out in Buckrow Beach though, man. Very talking about like, talk about one of them times like being proud of somebody though, bro. Like I had been hearing them talk about it for a long time, wanting to do something and everything, especially since he got into DJing. And it's like being a DJ and then doing event planning and throwing and everything like that. It's two different things, though, man. And so it was real dope that it all came together. He had a very nice turnout. And then, I think that he was a little nervous at first because, it's on the beach. So, you always are at the mercy of the weather. And the weather held off there. He thought at some point it was like some threats of rain, but it held off. We went out though, man, and gave away some free toys to kids out there. He did a cool little benefit. The whole thing was to raise money for I think it was called Mitchville House. So it's like out here we have Hope House, where they do like a shelter for women and children basically though. So he put the whole thing together though, man, and it was real dope. Had the one thing that was wild to me that I was very curious to see is that the event was called House the Block, and I was wondering what was the significance of it. He was telling me that no, like house music is still very much a thing. Like, and I was just like, whoa, really? So, you know, we go up there and he has 5 DJs that are playing different variations of house music and house mixes. One guy played more of some mainstream songs, right? So he kind of took a break from it. And I thought that was the more livelier part since it was the part that I was more familiar with. But I was very blown away that, oh, excuse me, golly. But I was very blown away at the response to house music because I just didn't know that that was a thing. The thing that I thought that was real dope was the response that I saw to go-go music, man. Like like I thought it's funny because having been visiting the DMV for years now, though, bro, I knew that DC go-go music was always a big thing. It was a huge regional thing, though, right? From the very first time I went years ago. And I think it's just pretty cool, though, man, how it's one of those things that just haven't left. It's like that live music feel that a lot of people just still rock with, though, man. So it was real dope to kind of see the response when they played the go-go music set. Real dope event though, man. I was thoroughly impressed. And the producer in me was saying, "Oh, I might have to try this. I might have to try that. I might do this." So, yeah. I got some cooler ideas though, man.
That's what's up, bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went down to Colleen, man. We grew up in Anderson Chapel and the choir, Albert Joe Reed, and we had our 50 plus reunion. So got to go back home and got to play the drums again. That was real dope. Brandon was there.
Hmm.
The fam was there. So had some
How long
trouble
was you?
getting.
You was in there for how long again?
I was supposed to get there Friday night, but I ain't get there till Saturday, which is a whole nother conversation. But yeah, man, I flew in Saturday and then left out Monday. So
Mm.
the concert was on Sunday. So yeah, it was a wild trip to say the least. But it was
Now,
super dope.
where was the concert at? Was it at Anderson Chapel?
It was at Anderson Chapel. It was at Anderson.
Wow.
So now we weren't in the actual Anderson Chapel building because they're still doing repairs on it, but they have the Miss Dowse building, which they now use for worship. Uh So it's set up kind of modern because it's got the screens in there, and everything is all set up or whatever like that. So so I met the pastor, and he was like, "Yeah, yeah." He said, "Where you from?" I said, "No, I'm from here. Like I used to go to Anderson Chapel. I was here with Miss Walker, who is still there." I said, "Yeah, yeah. I was here when Miss Walker was over to YPD." He was like, "That's wild." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I said, "I'm out in Oklahoma City now." He said, "I was out there for a conference, wooty wooty woo." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I graduated in 99." He was like, "Yeah, yeah, I graduated. We close. I'm graduated in 99." I was like, "Oh." So the whole head of the church, the pastor is like super young or whatever like that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So it's real dope. But yeah, we got to go in there, man, and they had initially had hired a band, but I guess the drummer got stuck in Dallas. And so the keyboard player was like, "I don't know what we gonna do because the drummer is stuck in Dallas." And me and Brandon looked at each other like, "Bro, you do know that we were the drummers that played for the choir. Like, I think you good. I think you're gonna be all right."
And
So
Brandon still plays then?
he still plays, but so the choir itself, like Brandon is, he's in and out of stuff, but he came for the reunion. So so yeah, yeah, it's like he doesn't play at the church that Albert goes to, but whenever the actual choir gets together, then yeah, he still plays. But
I'd
uh
imagine that playing the drums is like riding a bike. Like once you kind of is it not like that?
it is, I will say, because I haven't played the drums personally. Wow, since I probably played for one of the bands out here, because I don't play the drums at Life Church. I sing. So it's been a minute since I've played, and then I didn't make rehearsal because of the plane situation. So it was like muscle memory. Once I sat down and was like just thinking of the songs in my head, like, oh, this, da 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 da. And
Yeah.
so, and then adrenaline kicked in too, because it was one of those things like, you know, I really didn't know because I was looking at the list and I'm like, man, I don't know some of these songs, even though these are
Mm.
all songs back from our past. And so once they started singing them, then I was like, oh, okay, I remember this. Or there was one song out of all of them that I was like, I had no clue what it was. But for the most part, though, yeah, I knew everything. And when I got behind the kit, though, it was great, bro. Like it was pretty therapeutic, I will say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what's up, man. Nah,
Yeah.
that's all good though, bro.
Well, let's get this music popping off and see what we got to talk about.
Let's do it, man.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast
If you
of all time.
smell what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name
The
is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The greatest podcast of all time.
Hey, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. And while you're at it, click on our TikTok page as well. Whenever you click on the notification, you click on the bell, you get the heads up whenever your boys is doing their thing. It's Kennedy. And so you know what's crazy, man? So I drove up to VA,
Mhm.
right? And which was real cool because like using when I'm on like lengthy road trips, it gives me the opportunity to finally listen to new music, re-listen to music as well though, man. And listen to beats, you know what I'm saying? When you try to get songs and everything though, bro. One of the things that I thought that was interesting is that I was listening to I didn't had the Clipse project on repeat now, right? And what's crazy about it though, man, is that while I had it on repeat, I finally let the missus hear it, right? And I was like, yeah, she was like, because we were in the car, she was like, I've been hearing all about it. I want to check it out for myself. And I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that it's a perfect album. It's a perfect 10 album, but it's like it's not rapidy rap, but it's not exactly like top 40 rap that like she would like typically that I think she would like or I would associate with though, right? So we listened to it and she was like, "No, it's pretty dope." And she was like, "It's very refreshing that you can hear every single thing that they're saying, right? Because they're rhyming on almost all of the beats.
Mhm.
Almost all of the beats are somewhere between like 80 to 90, 95 BPM. So it's but it doesn't sound exactly like boom bap either. It's a boom bap, but a modern kind of boom bap. But because of that, it's bar heavy though. You listen to a lot of bars and storytelling. And I was very surprised. She was like, nah, I could totally see how you would say that because she was very impressed with it sonically as well, right? Have you got a chance to listen to it?
Have not. Have
You
not.
should listen. If you haven't had the opportunity, shout out to the homeboy Philosophical. He has a really dope rap review room breakdown of the album that I think is very accurate. Like I think that it's one of the times where when I've heard somebody talking about something and I almost agree with like every single thing that he said to describe the album. It's a pretty dope album and I think that the thing that I was very impressed with on it is the fact that I believe now that every beat is produced by Pharrell. So, and Pharrell is in it on certain spots throughout the different songs, right? So I was always wondering how a Pharrell, a fully produced hip hop album will sound because I haven't heard Pharrell do that since probably like the last Clipse album, right? But sonically though, man, it goes super, super, super hard. Like it's real, real creative. Probably what you would expect from Pharrell, right? But one of the things that I did on the way back, I started listening to the new Tyler the Creator album, right? Especially because he has a dope verse on POV, a song on the Clips album that go real hard. And I'm not sure that I like it yet, bro. I'm trying to go it's different. Like it's very different sounding. And I think that's a good thing. So it's definitely refreshing because I haven't heard anything else like it. And I'm trying to make sure that I'm not holding that against it. It's like now that my ears have just been listening to the clips and I listen to it, it's not so far. I'm like 5 songs in, and I like his last project, the last 2 projects better than this one. So that's probably where I've been. What new music have you been listening to, or have you had the opportunity to check out anything new?
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I was gonna tell you why I haven't heard the clips. I've been listening to Bieber's album. And then
Mm.
the next thing on the rotation is Giveon. Giveon. So that's why I haven't listened to the clips yet. Bieber's album is different. Like sonically, the production is just a little weird, but you could tell it's Bieber, but it's just not it's not that pop what I'm used to hearing from him. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't got
Mm.
no I haven't heard a yummy on there yet. Uh so I'm still waiting for that one.
I
Uh
got that. Does it in that regards, is it like that last Usher where like it's like so far it's good, but no hits?
uh something like that, but it's been so long since I revisited the Usher that I think I probably gave that one listen. Uh yeah, it's just something's missing. I don't know. And like I said, I haven't made it through the whole album yet. So I normally listen to it when I'm at the gym. So I just hear a couple of songs here and there. But yeah. But I do plan to listen to the clips eventually, especially after watching the Pharrell movie, like I told you. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this though. There's a couple of albums that I have that are all mine. I definitely want to hear the Giveon because I've heard a lot of good things. And the last Giveon, we basically had it high up there because I think that you and I at the time when the Giveon came out, I think we said that we liked the Giveon better than that last Chris Brown album, not the one that just
Right.
recent, but the one before that when they came out around the same time. So I definitely looking forward to that. I also have that new Ace Hood
Hmm.
on my list of songs that I want albums that I want to listen to. And then oddly enough though, bro, I am very curious to see what so Raekwon has a new album out for Wu-Tang Clan and it's the Emperor's New Clothes, bro. And I wanna check it out only because I heard this song that he has with I believe it's Nas. Nas has a verse on there that people keep saying is like his response back to Jim Jones or something like that. And I don't think it is, but I want to check it out though, bro.
You ain't
Those are like probably the next 5 albums I'm listening to though.
you ain't say nothing about that Jello album, bro.
I wasn't ever checking for the Jello album, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna be honest, and maybe it's me, but I still haven't taken him serious yet as a rapper. And it's
Hmm.
gonna sound crazy because he had that moment, right, where he was the hottest for that couple of times, though, bro. And I know that he had another song that was kind of cool as well. So it kind of showed that he wasn't like a one hit wonder, but I don't know, man. It's I haven't it's still hard for me to take him serious yet. And I don't know why. I just don't, man.
Yeah, that's odd. Just because I know. I mean, that man is out there doing all of his passions. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get on for the NBA, and then started working on music. And I'm sure that this isn't his first attempt at doing music.
That is what I so I'd imagine, right, that there are a lot of rappers who rap. I mean, now there are a lot of NBA players who also rap as well, right? There are quite a few who put out music and they just put it out because it's still passion. And I think that listen, I think that as long as he's able to put out music and still pursue, the NBA, I think that there's nothing wrong with him doing both. That's nothing different from you and I having full-time jobs and still pursuing music. It's a passion, right? So it's not that though, man. I think that I just I like when I heard the Tweaker song, I liked the chorus of it, but I didn't like anything else. I like the beat too, but I didn't like his rap style necessarily. And then the other song, I was just like, all right, it's cool. Like I haven't really been like blown away. But I told you I got my rule, man. If I hear you 3 times and I don't think you're whack, then I might like your stuff though. So so maybe he has a third time for me to really be to buy into it though, man. But I don't know what I think about him though, bro. I don't.
Yeah, I see that
Yeah,
Charlotte
I don't know.
won G League. I mean the Summer League championship.
Yeah, yeah. Charlotte, I think that it is going to be interesting too, though, man, because Charlotte has Charlotte is a very so listen, man. Charlotte has been in rebuild mode. Like they are somebody. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. They are in dire need of a Sam Presti, bro. Like they just can't quite get it though, man. And I think Jordan already sold the team, so they can't blame him. I think that they're still recovering from the Jordan era, but like the Hornets have been in rebuild mode yeah, for probably the last since they've been in back in Charlotte though, right? Like when they was with the Pelican and when they was in New Orleans, they was kind of in playoff mode when Chris Paul was there. But ever since Chris Paul and them that run that they had and when they went to OKC, the boys been rebuilding for 20 years now though, bro.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
while.
I think it's been a while though, man. But did you also see, speaking of Chris Paul, that Chris Paul joined the Clippers?
Yeah, and
Along with that bill.
Yeah, Brad Bill said he's gonna give up the 3 for Chris Paul too. Yeah, he
I
said
didn't
he's
think about that.
yeah. He said he's gonna give him the number, bro.
Let me ask you this though, bro.
What's up?
So with a potential starting lineup of Zubac, Kawhi, James Harden, Chris Paul, and Brad Bill.
Chris Paul's not starting, bro.
Chris Paul's not starting.
He's not starting.
Who is going to be their PG? James Harden was their PG at first.
Yeah, it's probably still gonna be the case.
Okay, who's their next guy then? Who's
They
their
showed
sixth guy?
they showed the starting 5 and they showed who the backups were too. Uh yeah, but no, Chris Paul is not starting. And now the thing was, he wanted to start. That was his thing. He was trying to sign with a squad, uh, and he wanted to still be a starter. But not many teams was biting. And I know the Bucks were looking. You know what I'm saying? The Bucks were looking at him, but
I thought he would have been perfect for the Bucks, bro. I thought the Bucks would have been the kind of team that he can go for.
well, they've been talking about getting Russ though.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So let's see here. So looking at their current roster. All right. So Brad Bill, Derek Jones, another
oh
old head.
no.
I
It's Collins. That's who's the starter. John Collins.
John Collins. Okay.
Yeah. So
So
it's like you
they're gonna
said.
start. So James Harden is gonna PG it then.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah. Because
oh,
it's
gee,
it's
did
it's
you
Collins. It's Collins, Zubac, Harden, Leonard, and Brad Bill.
Batum? Bro, did you know Patty Mills plays for them?
I saw that. Brooke Lopez too.
I did. Brooke Lopez. Okay, so I didn't know Ben Simmons plays for them.
He does, but they shopping him right now. The Clipper, I think the Celtics want him. It was the Celtics and somebody else was looking at him.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think Ben Simmons would play well for the Bucks, bro.
I mean,
I could see Ben Simmons playing for the Bucks and thriving though, bro. I think that as long as the Bucks get them another like pure shooting guard, like a real 3-point shooter, I think that Ben Simmons would go out there and do pretty well against them, though, bro. John Collins. Um, they got Bogdan out there, man. Um,
just an old team. They are
they are
definitely full of
old. They
vets,
are very seasoned.
and that's why I'm saying, barring injury, they should be all right. But that's the thing. If the injury bug don't get them, they I don't think they gon' I think you can put them 6 or 7 in the West.
Okay, so listen, let me tell you this though, bro. I think that this is the TVA timeline reassuring that them boys is not going nowhere. They is not winning the championship. I think that you have, with the exception of Kawhi Leonard, right? You set Kawhi aside, right? Because I think that Kawhi saved Toronto, and maybe even Toronto shouldn't have even won that championship, right? And this is the TVA correcting that. But you put Chris Paul on a team who probably Chris Paul, James Harden, and Bradley Bill. I'm sure if there's some list of guys who have scored the most points or made the most all-star games without winning a championship, I know that they're on that list. So when you put all of them on the list at the same time, I think that this is the TVA doubling down that these boys is not winning the championship, though, bro. I think that it's not meant for them. I don't. Listen. Winning the championship is hard. You and I say that all the time, and it's not. Everybody's not going to win. Some guys are going to be great players that never win championships. They have a team full of guys their core that are great guys that won't win championships throughout their career, and all they did was pack them all on one team and put them around Kawhi Leonard. So I don't know, bro. I think that they are. I don't.
Well,
I
I
think
will
that they're
say
going to make the playoffs, and
I,
they'll be interesting.
it's all names that's gonna put butts in seats though, and they still trying to
Yes.
pay off that arena.
See, I'm not. See, listen, man.
Listen,
I I read some stuff.
we already know the NBA is twofold about winning championships and it's a business. So
Well,
if you know you
I
ain't finna win the championship, you gotta put butts in seats.
I get that too, and I don't disagree with that whatsoever. But I read something over while I was on vacation, bro. And when I thought about that, when they were talking about what they would owe for the paying off the arena, bro, I was flabbergasted at because this my so let me tell you this. So my research on this came about somehow because of the WNBA, right? And that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. So this came up. So during my research, they specifically brought up the Clippers, right? And how the Clippers just bought this new arena. And they were talking about guys who are these billionaire owners about how having an NBA team, how a lot of these rich guys don't want to pay the don't want to sell these NBA teams because it's their way of having these big tax write-offs, right? So even with the Clippers, right, despite all of the revenue that they basically made in the building and all these other things and all this merchandise they have, Steve Ballmer was still able to, for tax purposes, say that he operated the Clippers at a loss. And most of these NBA teams that owners say that they operate their teams at a loss. So for tax purposes, bro, I think that it's mind blowing to me that they would say, oh, they operate at a loss and then still are able to meet where the NBA contracts and TV deals are bigger than they ever been, but you can still say you're operating at a loss, but it's for tax purposes because they brought up that based off of them saying that they can operate at a loss, that now Steve Ballmer's tax rate is lower than like a LeBron James,
Mhm.
which is also like the flip side to that when I saw that the WNBA, right? Is that the WNBA, the players are keep saying, well, pay us what we're worth, though, right? And you say, well, dang, you know what? The NBA has been saying for the entire 20 years of the WNBA's existence that they've been operating at a loss as a subsidy, right?
Mhm.
And so then it's like, well, if they've been operating at a loss, how can you have uh Golden State's new team, the Valkyrie, come in and their net value, their net worth is $500 million. Who haven't never had anybody in the seats, having never put a team together. You're saying you're operating at a loss, but then this team's value is at $500 million. So right. And that's where when I keep seeing all of these WNBA players with the shirts and their little protests and everything like that about getting paid more money and all this stuff, that's where they're coming from because they're just like, well, if you're making money, if you're a billionaire, right? Why would you own an NBA team if you truly are operating at a loss? It just wouldn't be lucrative. But for tax purposes and all these other things, they are. But I got off track on the original, but at that it was funny you brought up that with him in particular in the building. Um, but but here's a flip side of that. Let me segue that though,
Mhm.
because also since we last met, Dame re-signed with the Portland Trailblazers. So right, Ace Kennedy. I saw that and I initially thought, okay, he's done chasing championship. That's it. He is saying I'm gonna go out on I I'm gonna go out with the team that I came in with. And I think, bro, that his chasing, I think he's gonna go out and play the best he can. And if we win some games, cool. If we make it interesting, cool. I think that this is Dame's retirement contract, bro. I think that I don't think that winning a championship is an aspiration anymore.
I don't think it's him retiring. I think it's his rehabilitation. Like I think
Mhm.
he's coming home to rehab. He's gonna get in game shape, playing with a young team. He's gonna still prove his worth to another team, and then he'll probably leave once he's healthy. He's gonna use the 2 years to get healthy.
Okay, so look, so here's the thing though. So he'll miss all of this coming season to get
Yes.
healthy, which I think that he should do.
Right.
So he signed a 3-year deal with them. And on the third year, he signs a 3-year deal that has a no trade clause,
Mhm.
right? So I respect that he's saying, hey, if I'm gonna come back there, I don't want y'all to try to trade me or do this whole thing, whatever, right?
Right.
But I think that the part that gets me the most is that by the time he's done with that, let's just say if you say 2 years, right? He's gonna be like 38 years old though, bro. And
He is.
and
So if you prove your worth, you know how this NBA league is what have you done for me lately? So he goes out and he's the Dame of old, putting up the numbers, and a potential team that's a Lakers team that LeBron's about to retire, a Denver team where Kawhi, Kyrie might retire or go to a different team. Like you know how in the NBA moves. So my thing is that he ain't gonna be there this year, but he gonna turn around, and then a team might be willing to spend that bread if they feel like they are a piece away, especially a scoring point guard. Now that Shea has made it cool again to be a scoring point guard, so I'm just saying, it, the 3 years, the no trade, we know that's just set up for his protection, so that they can't trade him.
I just think, bro, this is my thing. I understand because the money really is nothing because he's getting paid next to nothing compared to contracts that he's had in the past. I mean, he's made 300, $400 million in his playing career, right? He's had like 3 max contracts basically in his time. So this deal that he got for 3 years, it's only like $46 million. And my thing is that, bro, like if you were about winning the championship, you could have set out this season, right? And people are never gonna forget what you could do. I think you could have signed a 1-year deal with somebody, show what you could do, and then re-up it or do whatever though, man. I don't know what it is though, bro. It just to me, I think that you could have signed this deal with any team. And I get that he wanted to go with go back to the Portland Trailblazers. I guess my thing is that Portland is far away from being a contender. And so I just think that you're playing on borrowed time. You are playing hoping that people remember what you were when you come back, show them that you still were, but you still have missed 3 good years though, bro.
But he's gonna do that
Yeah.
anyway, though. So my thing is that again, these players are playing longer in their careers. People are playing well into 40, right? So my thing is again, that he went to a place to rehab. He's gonna be in a good place mentally and all the other things. He's gonna miss this year. That's just out. That's just him, Jason Tatum, Halliburton, all of them out, right? So when he does get to play, though, he's going to still be the guy on that team. He's going back to what we know of Dame. And that's what I'm saying, that he's wanting to show teams like, nah, I still got it. He ain't over there with Giannis no more, who is ball dominant. He ain't got to deal with that. There's gonna be some teams interested in Dame when them 3 years is up. I'm just saying, like, he ain't gonna be washed.
I don't know, bro. I'm not saying he gonna be watched. I think that this boy is getting ready to ride into the sunset. It wouldn't surprise me, bro. It wouldn't surprise me that after these 3 years, that Dame just retires, bro. And not to say that he's washed or not. I think that Dame will basically get this get this on that year 3 no trade. It's just a guarantee that he finishes his career with Portland, though, bro. And I think that he's done after that, though, bro. I think that he is. It's over. And I think that the bad part about it is, I just wish that, and that we talked about that before, right? There was very few slots out there where we saw Dame would be the missing piece, let alone this coming season or in the season after that. That's why I thought it would have made sense for him to just sit out this season and rehab and then came back next year to a team that thought maybe this is what we need. But if he just gonna go ahead and just go to Portland for this one. He riding to the sunset, bro. It's over.
Well, I
It's
mean,
over.
it's one of those things that we gonna see. I mean,
NBA is gonna look weird next year, though, bro. I think that it's gonna be weird because you think about that, man. The two of the top three teams in the East don't have their best player, right? So that's gonna make somebody like the Knicks, this is going to be their opportunity to go ahead if they're ever going to do it. If Miami's ever going to recoup from what it's their chance from the Jimmy Butler, it's like their chance. If the Hornets are ever going to put it together,
mhm,
this run because the again you basically saying that the top two teams are without their best players and that give you as good of a shot. And then even with the Spurs, it's like if Wimby's is gonna be what we think he is, this is gonna be the year that he's gonna have to start showing improve because even with that being said though, you think now KD's out there. The Suns are the Suns. I don't think that for them it did too much. But it's like the Kings, they're gonna be the Kings. The Pacers, they're gonna be the Pacers. I mean not Pacers, but the Portland Trailblazers, they're gonna be the Blazers. I don't think nobody's afraid of the Lakers like that. I think that people are still questionable about the Nuggets. I think that bro, like this year is going to be weird, and a lot of these teams that have been kind of bottom tier teams, I think this is the year that they should step up. And if they're not going to do it, I think that you can see somebody like the Hornets basically saying, "Let's blow it up and try it again," though, bro. They're gonna say about getting rid of Lamelo
Melo.
Ball after this season. Yeah, bro.
Where did Lonzo go?
Lonzo went to dang. If you wouldn't have asked me that, I would have been able to tell you that. Oh my gosh. Cleveland,
Okay.
which I like for them because they got Darius Garland and they got Donovan Mitchell who kind of play the same style. And I think that having him come in and running a traditional PG style would work for them though, man. Yeah. I don't know. This season, like I said, it should look very, very weird though, bro. Very weird season though, man.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I want to know what Dallas is gonna look like. That's what I want to know.
I think that should be interesting because I fully think that is Kyrie gonna be back
No,
all the way?
he's supposed to. No, he. Ain't, if he does come back, they talking about uh like around All Star break.
Yeah. I think that listen, I think that they'll be be in there. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna be a serious contender, but I think that, like listen, man, I think that if you got Cooper Flag in the fold with Anthony Davis, I think that still should give you a chance though, man. And I think if Cooper Flag if he's gonna eventually be what we think he's gonna be, though, man, he by halfway through the season, he'll start to show you them signs. And I think that the only problem with the Mavs is that now you basically are gonna have to rely 100% on AD, and I don't think that nobody's been successful doing that, though, man. So, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be something, bro.
You think the Thunder could repeat?
Listen, I don't see why they couldn't. Not no, no, get me wrong. There hasn't been a repeat champion in 10 years. We talked about that. They bring that up to nauseum though, man. But I like this. I like the Thunder chances just as good as any other time, though, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, on paper, the Rockets make the most sense for them to come out the West or to face in the West. Um, but even with that in the East, if the Pacers don't got Halliburton, that's it. So to me, that means that I'm still trying to see if I trust the Celtics without Tatum because now if you put all the effort on Jalen Brown, I think that makes him he's gonna have to show that he is a number one guy. And I think that to me makes the Knicks the most complete team to me that comes out of the East with in the Cavs. And hell, I don't think that I I would pick the Thunder over both of those teams though.
So you ain't say the 76ers, you ain't giving them no chance.
No, they got Paul George, bro.
Oh man.
And they got Joel Embiid. So no, I don't think so. I think that they I listen, I think that after this season, the 76ers are gonna blow it up. I think that after this
Well,
season,
they said
this is
that.
gonna
I
sound
mean, they said that.
yeah, but no, when I say blow it up, I think that they're gonna trade Joel Embiid after this season.
I
That's what they
listen.
don't say.
I think Embiid is gonna be gone, and I think Zion gonna be gone.
Yeah. I think listen, if you don't trade listen, if you trade Joel Embiid, you got to get Paul George out of there too, bro. Yeah, I don't know, man. So you see what they I think that you get the look, you see what they gonna look like this year. And then I think that you if they don't show you Eastern Conference Finals, get them out of there, man. I don't know. Did you by the way, did you talk about let's switch gears for a second. Did you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
did you see Jerry Jones' comments about the Cowboys and paying players, oh bro? He got out there and was talking about they have been asking him about the Michael Parsons contract and everything, right? And Jerry Jones had wanted to negotiate his contract directly with Micah Parsons, right, without his management. And I think that's probably how him and Dak kind of they don't really see eye to eye because Dak does all his negotiations strictly through his agent, and it's just like, nah, that's business. We ain't got to be personal. And so here it is. Michael Parsons is basically kind of on that same approach, and they were talking about, Jerry Jones gets up there and was like, "Hey, man, just because you paying a person the money don't mean you're gonna get out everything that that your money says. So you got to be careful with that money." He was like, "Hey, we made somebody the highest paid player, and we got 3 games out of him." Bro. I'm talking about when it was talking about Micah, and then threw one of the shots of all shots to Dak Prescott, though, bro. I said, "Oh man." And my thing is this, though, bro. I'm just like, God damn, bro. Well, what, how does Michael Parsons feel about that then, bro? Like that's what he think about him though, man. Like, come on, man.
Hey, you know what it is, bro. These players can make a lot of control happen. They'll hold out like they. Hey, and I'm here for it. If it's like, listen, I got money, so I got time to just I'll pay these fines, I'll do whatever, but I'm gonna get the contract that I want, or I just won't play.
Well, here's the thing about it though, right? Because you think Micah then now you could have signed Micah Parsons last year. You could have
Mhm.
extended him last year, right? So now that you didn't extend him, right? You didn't now let TJ Watts get paid. You didn't let Miles Garrett get paid. And now, if you Michael Parsons, you just like, hey, well, listen, I'm 5 years younger than both of them dudes. All right. They contracts got to be my starting point, right? It's my where I would start. And if I'm Micah, I would be thinking like I got to make at least 2 million more per season in both of them, though, right? So, but it's all could have been avoided if he would have just paid that man last year, though, and get ahead of of
Power
of
curve.
of of TJ Watts. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did the same thing with Dak Prescott, though, right? He made Dak kind of go do a show me kind of gear. And Dak was like, all right, I'm gonna show you, but ain't no discounts over here.
Right,
So
right.
I think that if I'm Micah, I'm like, listen, I'm not showing no discounts, no family discounts on this one, no, bro. No home team at all, though, bro. Yeah.
Especially the other thing too is uh especially when you with the other thing that he said was that he was considering not being the general manager anymore. Like had that momentary where he was not gonna do it.
He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna give up that power. That's to me, that is Jerry Jones's legacy, bro. Like, I think that Jerry Jones, to me, listen. it's not enough for them to win a championship. It means nothing if they don't win it the way Jerry Jones wants to win it. It's like it means something to him that he drafted the players, that they made the Pro Bowl. And so if they go ahead and they win the Super Bowl, it's saying, no, I won the Super Bowl because these are guys that I picked, that I paid, and that came together. And the only thing that he could do more than that is just go out there on the field and coach the team, though, bro. But Jerry Jones is an interesting guy because anybody else, any other GM with the same exact credentials would have just been fired, and you can't fire yourself. So you fire the coaches to mask it. You do all these other things, though, bro. But I don't know, man. Jerry Jones is not gonna be. Jerry Jones will die on that hill
Oh
of
yeah,
being the general manager.
but I'm even still right. Who would he pass it to?
His son. His son's gonna do the same thing. Right? His son is gonna when he takes over, he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna be the general manager and president. He's gonna try to pick the players and do the same thing Jerry did. And unless he really learns from Jerry Jones's mistakes or differences, though, man, yeah, I think that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
man. I like I said, man. This football season, I am just not uh as excited, bro. I'm just not. I think I'm more ready to see college football because I want to see what Arch does, but NFL, nah, just not excited, bro.
So I told you where I'm at with it, though, bro. My team, like I said, I'm almost ready to put my fan hood up. I bought me a new little Saints bucket while I was up there, though, man. It's real cold too, though, bro. But
You
I'm
see your
almost ready.
you saw your boy just retired.
Yeah, I saw Tyrann Matthew. He was like one of my favorite players on the Saints team too, though, man. I was very surprised at that one though, man, because we got him. He's like one of our long-term vets. We got Cam Jordan out there who's running the back. So I don't know, man. It's tough, but when I'm seeing them go, oh man, I don't know. But I know for sure we are washed this year though, man. We ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, I really can't wait to see who y'all got as quarterback though.
Nah, I still don't even know this dude name though. He probably Spencer Rattler is gonna likely be the starting quarterback though.
I mean,
Yeah.
another year under his belt. That's fair,
What you got going on for the week though, man?
man. A little of nothing, bro. I still gotta unpack. And then I that's about it, bro. Like I said, I'm piecing together stuff, getting ready for the show, for the state fair, and touching up songs at the same time. So that's just gonna be the ongoing process. It ain't gonna really change. That's it for me. What about you?
Man, so this week now that I'm getting back settled in though, man, I'm trying to play around with some ideas in the studio, man, that I've been that I have in my head, especially after listening to some stuff during my road trip though, man. So I'm excited to kind of get back to my normal routine. But I'm gonna be in the lab real heavy though, man, this week though. God willing, that's gonna be the plan.
That's what's up, bro. But look, man, we are the Slash Brothers from ATL to OKC. We'll holler at y'all on the next one. Yeah. We out.
It doesn't matter what your name
The
is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig it,
of all time.
sucker?